Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
There we go. Hello, everybody. It's Ty Dilello here from Game Over Winnipeg, and we are we are celebrating again. It's a big 3-2 Winnipeg Jets victory over the St. Louis Blues on the road here on a very NHL jam-packed Tuesday night with all 16 matchups, 32 teams all playing tonight. Braden Mann is joined with me once again. Braden, how's it going, my friend?
Going well. Happy after another Jets win. Jets stay on top of the NHL, undefeated. Good game. I thought they were tested really well, so it was, good game. I couldn't be happier.
No doubt, no doubt. So before we get underway, we're just gonna do a couple of quick ad reads here. Go through our title sponsor, Hyperdrive Hockey. Check out the flagship show of the Game Over Network here on the Game Over Network channel. All the channels, Hyperdrive Hockey, which is all things hockey across various leagues in multiple countries. Whatever it is and wherever it is, Max, Daphne, and Kev have you covered for all of your hockey news with a steady dose of fun and fan engagement. You can find Hyperdrive Hockey on the @Game Over Network YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts on the Hyperdrive Hockey page over at the GameOverNetwork.com. As we said, welcome here to the Game Over post-game show of today's game between the Jets and the St. Louis Blues. My name is Ty Dilello, and I'm the host here at the Game Over Winnipeg Network, and I'm joined once again by Braden Mann. We're just kind of starting into our recap of the game tonight. The Jets were a little bit slow out of the gate, I thought. The Blues looked like the better team in the first period, opened the scoring, and I really started to think that this was kind of going to be the end of the Jets' unbeaten streak. But wing, bing, bam, the Jets scored 3 goals in the second period in kind of quick succession. That the game kind of got really exciting for Jets fans pretty quickly. And it looked like the game was kind of getting away from St. Louis there in the second. To the Blues' credit, they came out hard, strong in the third period, got a goal to make it 3-2. But then Connor Hellebuyck played amazing the rest of the way. The Jets gave up probably a little more chances than they probably would have liked in that third period. But when you have the best goaltender in the world, Hellebuyck is kind of the eraser and kind of. He makes those saves that maybe other goalies don't save and breaks up chances. And just like that, the Jets held on for a 3-2 win and moved to 6-0. So is that kind of what you saw, Braden, and what are your other thoughts from the game today?
Yeah, pretty much the exact same. The first period, I thought, at the first 10 minutes, I thought the game was pretty even, and then St. Louis totally took over, and I was a little worried. But the second period came, the Jets were strong, and scored 3 goals, and then it was all about shutting it down after that. So I totally agree with your game assessment there. But I'll ask you a question. What do you think about the first line today and Logan Stanley's play?
The first line. I know we're going to talk about Gabriel Vilardi a little bit later in this show, but it's. Yeah, not the best game from our first line. The minuses add up, as we know, and it's one of those things where, this history of kind of Connor Scheifele together and now Vilardi, have a history of, giving up more than they produce, which has kind of been, why so many fans have wanted Ehlers and Connor switched from line 1 to line 2. So I didn't think it was their best game tonight by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, Kyle Connor had another snipe. He's done that a few times this season, which has been great. But I wasn't a big fan of the 5-on-5 play from the first line. Logan Stanley, I again wasn't a big fan of his game tonight either. I thought he wasn't great. I don't want to seem like I'm negative on a night where we just went to 6-0, but I didn't love Logan Stanley. I didn't love Dylan Samberg either. I thought that Samberg made a lot of. Sandberg made a lot of critical mistakes that could have found their way into the back of the net, and then also the over the glass penalty that he looked pretty guilty on, that he was eventually called for. So obviously a couple of players, had rough nights, but I think a couple of Jets players had solid nights. I think you're a big Colin Miller fan. Millsy is a pretty good sixth defenseman here in Winnipeg, and I think the Jets are fortunate to have this extra big shot from the point. And he was able to score a goal tonight. So I like Colin Miller's game. But what about you, Braden? What about the first line for you and Logan Stanley and Sandberg and all that jazz?
Once again, it's going to make for a pretty boring podcast, but I do agree with you. I thought Stanley today looked like he just can't skate and turn quickly and so hesitant. And there was more than two, but he had two plays where he got the puck and just rifled it down the ice with no pressure for icings. And I'm just questioning what the thought process is there. I know he's been out and everything, but no, today I didn't care for his game at all. Obviously, Dylan Sandberg had a rough game tonight, but he's been very good this year, so I'm not going to bash on him too much. And then the first line, it's tough. You and I were texting during the game. It's the two St. Louis goals against. It's both our first line out on the ice, and it's like this is happening every game. They're getting scored on once, twice, So there's definitely a defensive problem on that first line, as we are well aware of. But I don't know. I also don't think you really mess with the winning formula that much. I mean, they are 6-0, so I don't expect any changes.
You're right. That's the thing. I think while the team's so successful, you're not going to see any changes. And I think it's going to take a little while, even if things aren't going well, for there to be changes, because this Connor and Scheifele have been kind of glued together for a long time, and there's this kind of sense internally I think in the Jets organization that Ehlers and Scheifele don't play well together. They're different different players, north, south, east, west, that kind of thing. So I don't want to harp too much, I guess, on the negatives tonight, even though we will hit Gabriel Vilardi in the next segment. Obviously some positives. I was good to see Nino Niederreiter scoring again. I think it'd be great if he can get going this year. I thought last year he had a little bit of a down year in regards to the point totals and stuff. Obviously he plays a very key role on on the third line that acts like a second line with Adam Lowry and Mason Appleton. I have Nino on a couple of my fantasy hockey teams, so I'm always very excited when he's able to tip one home or get a goal or some hits. So that was pretty exciting. Your good friend Cole Perfetti had 3 assists tonight, and he's kind of proving, a lot of the naysayers, including myself, may be wrong this year, that he's, could possibly be, a 70, 75 point player if he plays all 82 games, and is kind of playing like a top 6 player should, I would say, these last couple of games, which has been nice to see, because I thought he was a bit of a slow start, albeit he missed some preseason time, which maybe caused him to be a little bit slower the first couple of games of the regular season. I thought Perfetti was great. What about you? What did you think of them, Braden? And any other Jets that games you liked tonight instead of disliked?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Loved Connor Hellebuck. I think I read an interesting comment today. They said Hellebuck is the only Jet to wear number 37, and I think that will stay that way for the entire Jets organization. He was amazing tonight. I like Perfetti. Obviously, he got 3 assists. I'm pretty happy. Like Neil Pionk, he's been amazing. Quite frankly, this year, it is contract year. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. But no, Neil Pionk's been amazing. Lowry I thought was great. Big hit to really get the energy going, but also just so good on that third but really second line.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Cole Perfetti's ice time because it's very interesting. He's up to now 7 points in 6 games, and he averages 13 minutes a night. I wonder if his agent's going to come out again and make a comment about the ice time. But it's very interesting. Would not be surprised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Cole Perfetti. Yeah, maybe his play warrants a little more ice time, but all same time you gotta still kind of protect him. He's a young player. He's pretty fragile, I would say. So I trust kind of Scott Arniel and his coaching staff. They seem to have a good handle on him. They like him a lot. So I think the ice time will kind of come as the season progresses and we get more into the thick of things here. Also, what did you think about the fourth line tonight? I follow our boy Rasmus Kupari, who I've really grown to love here in Winnipeg this season, and Morgan Barron. They seem like they got a little bit of more ice time than usual, but maybe the numbers suggest not. What did you think of them?
Yeah, I like their game. They were good. Their job was really to come out, make sure no one scored, and play a safe game, and that's exactly what they did. I think Alex Iafallo's been a phenomenal fourth liner. There's no doubt he's overpaid for that role, but he's just so solid. I'm sure when the coach throws him over the boards, you just know it's going to be safe out there. Every time I see him with the puck, I have full trust. I don't know what it is. I feel a lot of trust towards him, but he is making far too much money on the fourth line. But I like their game. I thought Morgan Barron played big and strong. He also got some shifts with Lowry after the power play when Nino was out, which I thought was interesting, but well deserved. I love Morgan Barron's game a lot. And yeah, Kupari looked good as well. I'm happy with the fourth line.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I like the fourth line as well. Let's go to the... I was going to go to the chat here, but it's our friend Conrad from the Game Over Calgary Network saying, Ty, when you alt-tab, your video goes away. So that's I guess the tab where I read my ad reads out. So I got my cell phone. So instead of, I guess, going into that on my computer, I'll read this next ad read on my cell phone here as we go into the second period of this post-game show. For this one, we're talking about LaRouche. Game Over Network here is an independent production focused on community, inclusion, and quality people. So if you're interested in supporting the Game Over Network, we have some various crowdfunding options available. In the description of this episode, you'll find a link to our Patreon page, and we're also working on a page through LaRouche, which is a crowdfunding platform for companies originating in Quebec. For LaRouche, we're aiming to raise $15,000, and if we hit that goal, we'll have gain access to government grants that will allow us to employ more people, provide more content, etc. So if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see as giveaways for these crowdfunding efforts or anything, or just check in with us and see how everything's going. You can let us know in the comments on Twitter, Instagram, or our ever-growing Discord server. I think we're up to close to 100 people on there. And so I'm on there. I think all the other Game Over hosts are on there. Even Braden's on there. So we're checking in and talking hockey, talking fantasy hockey. We got a pretty nice fantasy hockey pool going on for our Game Over hosts and some Patreon members. We got 16 people. I'm just looking. There's at least one trade tonight that as commissioner I'm going to look over a little bit, and I'm sure we'll put her through. So yeah, we're going to get back to the show here with Braden. Gabriel Velarde, Mr. Braden, the invisible man, or just unlucky with chances, not scoring. He's 6 games into the season with only a couple assists to his name. Haven't seen him, net front in his, garbage goal area. As a fantasy owner of Gabriel Velarde in several hockey leagues, I am very worried. I thought if he was healthy, he could be a possible 40-goal scorer, and right now I'm getting worried. I think some Jets fans are worried that we might have a down year for Gabriel Velarde. Braden, what are you seeing, and is he going to score someday soon? Tell me, what's happening with Gabriel Velarde, my Italian friend?
I hope he scores soon. It's only 6 games into the season, so let's not get too crazy with wondering if he'll score again this year. But sorry, my dog is squeaking his toy right in the same room. But with Gabriel Velarde, I've liked his chances. He's getting chances. He's had some, a lot of his goals are garbage goals right in front of the net, but he's also had a lot of chances this year, like right in the slot one-timers, which when I watched his LA highlights, he was scoring those all the time. But he's just not scoring right now. They're not going in. there's some nights I like his game and he's doing the right things, and then there's nights like today where I just didn't notice him. He was Casper, a friendly ghost, not hitting anyone, not doing anything out there. So I don't know. I have tons of faith in Gabe Vilardi. He is, I believe, in a contract year. He's a RFA at the end of the year, I
believe
think.
So, yeah, he's only making 3
Well,
point,
he's-
3 point something mil. So you want to raise or you want to stay at 3 mil? I don't know. He's playing like
Yeah, well, it's up to him. He's got all the opportunity in the world on line one and PP one, and if he's not performing, I would think Ehlers should take his spot on line one. But we'll see.
Yeah. I kind of spoke my piece on Gabriel Vilardi, I thought. I'm a little bit worried. Also, as you said, 6 games in, lots of time to figure it out. But when our power play has been so productive, we've been scoring a lot this year, it seems, and just Gabriel Vilardi is, puck's not really getting off his stick. Can he shoot the puck? I don't know. Like, does he only score goals from in front of the net? I'm starting to worry that his shot's not, at NHL caliber. That so far this year. And you're right, he was pretty invisible. He was a bit of a ghost. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. I want to go to the chat and see if there's anything, but we got nothing here. We only have a couple of viewers, which is surprising because the Jets are the best team in Canada. So if we go off of what? Oh, I got 2 people watching live. Great. That's beautiful. I think one of them is my phone that has the chat up, and one of them's maybe our parents. I don't know. Yeah, so that's fine. We're gonna this Game Over Winnipeg channel's. I think we're the least employed of all the ones so far, and we're the one with the least promotion so far. So we'll get it out there. We're just we're happy our team's 6-0 tonight. And yeah, Brayden, anything else you want to talk about Gabriel Vilardi before we go on to the next topic?
No, I think I've said my piece about Gabe Vilardi. I just hope he's not. The one concern, I guess, is we're 6 games this season. He's not looking great. I hope he's not already fighting an injury. I am slightly concerned that might be the case because he, just like Cole Perfetti, has been fragile his whole career. So that's always a wonder when a player is not playing particularly well. Is always he already playing hurt? I'm not sure.
Yeah, the old Neil Pionk thing, playing through injuries through 2 years supposedly, and then this year maybe he's healthy, he's playing well. Pionk's been nice to see this year. So yeah, I didn't think of that until now. So yeah, hopefully Vilardi's not having injury. Hopefully he's just playing bad, and hopefully he figures it out soon. So. Let's head over now to our next ad read, and I'll do it from the phone so we don't lose, myself and Brayden over here. To talk a little bit about Game On Winnipeg. Game Over, right here, has you covered after the game. But in order to get ready to watch the Jets, you've got to get your game on, too. Game On Winnipeg is a short-form daily news podcast covering everything you need to know about the Winnipeg Jets. Debuting soon. Get all your Jets news in under 10 minutes, Monday through Friday on the Game Over Winnipeg YouTube channel and in podcast form, which you can find at thegameovernetwork.com/pages/Winnipeg. I believe Harrison Lee was going to start that up, but I believe we're the one market so far that we don't have Game On content yet. So I think that's coming next week. I don't know. Do we want Jets 10 minutes recaps during the day? I would like to get that content, but so far squat. So look for that soon. Also, let's talk about the other Game Over markets. Do you like multiple teams? Just want to hate watch your rivals? Well, you can check out the rest of the Canadian Game Over markets as we have each Canadian NHL city covered. And on a night like tonight, there's a lot of Game Over shows going on. I think there were a couple of crossovers with maybe one or two of a couple of the Canadian teams were playing against each other that they would have joined up. So yeah, if you don't want to just watch us, you can watch all the other channels are linked here on the Game Over Winnipeg channel and on the Game Over Network channel. So check them out. There's a lot of great content going on from a lot of our great hosts. They're very knowledgeable about their cities and their NHL teams, and I've been I've been kind of, whenever I'm not kind of doing this with the Winnipeg, I try to check in on the other YouTube channels and go live and make some comments and just enjoy the content because it's good stuff. And we're pretty proud of kind of the effort that everyone's put in so far as we're early into the season. So yeah, we're gonna go to the third period now. I don't know if we have a topic we really want to talk about. We kind of want to just hit some questions back and forth. Braden, what do you got for me?
Well, we could always go to the comment section and
Did you get that text message?
see if we have any. Still no comments.
Yeah,
it's all good.
I think we
can talk about that. Let's talk about. You know what? I do have something I want to talk about. I got two things. Number one, last podcast we made predictions on what the score would be, and I would just like to say, so far scoreboard, Braden won. I guessed 3-2 Jets victory, and that's what it was today. So I just like to get that on record.
Yeah,
we're 1-0. I'm 1-0. Sorry.
Yeah, great.
And let's talk about the next game. I believe they play Seattle. What do you think that game's going to look like?
Well, we got what are predictions? Yeah, we'll give the predictions too. I think, is Seattle going to be the team that upends the Jets and defeats them? I hope not. I hope we continue it. I'm going to say 4-1 Jets. I think if Helly's in net, I think 4-1. If Comrie's in net, I think we lose. I think Seattle's a good team. They're kind of one of those teams where they kind of just play. They roll four lines. They roll their defensemen when we're starting out like at the 5 and 6 year old age group where you get 2 minutes on like the scoreboard and then the 2 minutes the horn would go and you basically just change lines. That's kind of what Seattle does, which I like, and that's. They were a deep team, in that playoffs a couple years ago against, knocking off Colorado, winning the cup, pushing. Who they play in second round? Dallas. I think they pushed them to 6 or 7 games. So Seattle's dangerous. I like them this year. I still think the Jets have a lot more firepower. I think the Jets are just playing better right now as a hockey team. So I do think the Jets are going to win. If Hellebuck's in net, if Comrie's in net, flip a coin. What about you, Brain? What are you kind of seeing from Seattle?
Yeah, they are a good team. They just lost tonight against Colorado, so I believe that puts them to 4-3 on the year. Yeah, they're a good team. It's not like when we were playing Chicago and San Jose earlier this year. I do take them quite seriously, just like I hope the Jets took the St. Louis Blues. Yeah, your score prediction was 4-1. It's a tough one. I'm not sure. It's a good point. I mean, you're being a little critical on Comrie, but it is a good point, for these predictions to know who's playing. But I'll say another 3-2 game for the Jets.
Yeah, if you hit this one, I would start looking into lottery tickets and whatnot, and maybe look at starting a psychic business. I don't know. Are you seeing Nashville up 3-0 on Boston? Is that Nashville's first win of the year, second win of the year? And she'll put up.
I think that would
put up Hero on the screen. I think all the viewers want to see the Hero. Where's that guy?
Hero, he's the number one Jets fan. That's a dog. Fun fact. He watches all the Jets games.
I believe you. There he is. There's Hero. Yeah. He's got a sock.
Number one Jets fan, that's a dog.
Hi, Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah.
And you know who his favorite player is?
Who?
Eric Comrie, so stop dogging him.
I'm not dogging Comrie. I just think if you're making odds, you have to know who's in net because that affects, the Jets' chances of winning. I think if you have either the best goalie in the world or the Buffalo Sabres' third goalie from last couple seasons. So I think context is key.
Yeah.
Context is key.
It is.
I'm going to the chat.
It is. Yeah. Especially.
I'm going to the chat right now. We have Brendan Labarre, our other Game Over Winnipeg host, who will be taking over for me for the next couple of games here, while I'm in Halifax curling in a curling event, saying Nino looked like he was going to kill someone at times today. Guy had red mist for real. Braden, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like Nino's game today. I think, like you talked about earlier in the podcast, he's towards the end of the year last year, he was not maybe playing the best, not getting a lot of points. But, even when he doesn't get the points, I still love his game. He's physical, responsible defensively, solid on the boards. So I see what Brendan was talking about there. He did look angry tonight. He had a couple of big hits. And I love his game. That deflection on the Neil Pionk shot was huge. Got the Jets right back in it. I think before that goal, that was the first goal, correct? I believe it was. Before that goal, I didn't know if we were going to beat Binnington tonight. I thought he was lights out. Like, he was amazing. He made so many good saves. I mean, that toe save on Scheifele was incredible too. But to get back to Brendan's initial question, I did like Nino's game. And Brendan kindly says, "Yo, good luck in Halifax."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's talk about the merch quickly and do another quick ad read. And Brendan, if you're still here, any other questions would be great to give us something to talk about in overtime. Would be fantastic. So let me get the merch here on the screen now. It should be there with the QR code. So what better way to support something you love than by rocking it as clothing? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you want to make your statement... Oh, I screwed that one up. Okay, let me start from that sentence. Holy smokes, Ty. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, which is currently on sale, want to wear your love for goalies proudly with our Live and Die by the Goalie design, hey, that rhymes. Or if you just need another coffee to get you through the winter, we have you covered. Designed by Brady Chalice from the Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. I guess this is what happens when I do these ad reads from the phone as opposed to on the computer. I kind of screw them up. Braden, I think we've talked about the merch. You wanting to get some maybe for your birthday, maybe not, maybe you don't want it. But the merch is there. Scan the QR code, check it all out. I have, I'm all over this merch. Just please support us. We need it to, pay our salaries, so just help us out a little bit here. Braden, is your mic stuff fixed? I think we got a comment, I think from a family member that you were kind of echoing and stuff. I see the headphones are in now, so how are the headphones treating you right now, Braden?
Yeah, we'll test. You can tell me right now. I'm testing these for the first time, seeing if they're a better mic or not.
Sound fine to me.
Sounds fine.
The people at home.
We'll see. We'll see what the people at home what they think. But if this sounds better, then great. I'll stick with it.
Brendan just says the mugs are sick. The mugs are great. I'm not a coffee.
The mugs are very nice.
But maybe I'll put some juice in there, or water, or wine, or whatnot. Maybe there'll be some mugs in our family stocking, so maybe we'll see. Braden, any questions, anything in the chat before we wrap up this thing?
I'm not sure about the chat, but you know what? We should. I feel like we glanced over Hellebuck this game. I think I had said for 1 second he's the reason why we won. He was outstanding tonight as well. I think you could, if you want to, you could go on and tell me what you thought about Hellebuck tonight and just Hellebuck in general.
Hellebuck is very important to the Jets' success every single game. He's kind of the one superstar that we've had here in Winnipeg since the Jets have been back. I would say Patrick Laine was probably similar to that. Blake Wheeler, maybe in his heyday, I don't know. I think as Winnipeg Jets fans, we're so grateful that we kind of the goaltending position, like, we don't have to worry about, except in the playoffs. But we're very fortunate to have Connor Hellebuck. He was awesome tonight. He was excellent. He makes my fantasy hockey team look so good. Every game, every year. He made a lot of big saves. That third period, usually like you can kind of sense when momentum swings are happening in hockey games. When that period started, the Blues were over the Jets. They got that one to make it 3-2, but they didn't get another one. They didn't. They certainly had their chances, but Hellebuck shut the door. He also broke up some plays too, which could have found their way in the back of the net. So I thought Connor Hellebuck was awesome, and I better see him getting one of those jackets tonight. When the Jets do their their 2 jacket presentations, I would say give him one. I was gonna say give him both. Give him one. What about you, Braden? How much do you love Connor Hellebuck, and do you pray to Connor Hellebuck every night?
I do not pray to Connor Hellebuck every night, but no, I love him. It's amazing. Started after here. It's amazing that the Jets have gotten so lucky to get this 2-time Vezina winner, draft him, and wanted to stay with the team. Okay, sorry, the phone is blowing up. My apologies. My apologies. No, Hellebuck, it's amazing that the Jets have had that we got this 2-time Vezina winner, and tonight I think in the last minute he makes a great stick check. I think that saves a goal, and then even he got over. I know Braden Shen kind of whiffed on the shot there, but he was almost pretty much in position there. So he was huge. Like I said, I don't dog Comrie like you do, but I think if Comrie plays that game, I don't know if the Jets are winning. I thought Helly was just outstanding. And I think it's also you're so critical of Comrie all the time. It's quite unfair when you've got this other goalie who's like the number one, maybe best goalie in the NHL, 2-time Vezina winner versus backup, rather than if you look at Comrie on a different NHL team where it's just a regular kind of starter. You probably don't think of him so lowly, but good problems to have, I guess, when you have someone like Hellebuck.
Yes, I don't want to dog Eric Comrie. I don't want to dog. I don't love that we kept him over Kaapo Kähkönen. If Comrie can kind of play like he did that season, he did when he was here with Winnipeg, great, sure. He's kind of like a borderline NHLer to me. So, I want to see more of Eric Comrie starts, and maybe I'll make more of a assessment and judgment then. But for now, let's just celebrate Connor Hellebuck. And you're smiling. Is your mic working now? Like, what's going on there?
I'm smiling because you're like, I don't want to dog Eric Comrie, and then you're like, Buddy's a borderline.
He is. Like, I don't know.
You know what? I might have to do a segment. He didn't even play tonight. Here you are, just dogging him.
You talked about it.
We might have to do a segment at the end of every podcast where it's like, say something positive about Eric Comrie.
He's well spoken in the media. He's well spoken in the media. He made some.
Yeah.
He's a dollar store UC Saros. All right.
Kind of a compliment.
It's kind of a compliment. So let's wrap up. I think. I don't know. Is there anything else you want me to hit the ending?
I was actually trying to get Eric Comrie to come on tonight, but he's been listening and he said, "No way, this host stinks."
I would say that he's not listening because we have like one person watching now. I think even Brendan tuned out. So. I think it's just us and Mom, I think. So, with that, I think it's a pretty good time. Game Over Winnipeg. We'll be back here following a late 9 o'clock start on Thursday night against the Seattle Kraken. The Jets are on the road still. And the Jets there will try to make it... Do the count, Braden. How many games? 7 in a row? Can we make it... 7 in a row? 7. Yeah, no more talking from you. Your mic's bad. 7 in a row we're going to hope for. So you won't see me and Braden. Maybe that'll help our viewership, maybe not. But Brendan Labarre will be the host here for the next 3 games or so. As I said before, I'm heading off to Halifax tomorrow. Got a long travel day. Heading there for a World Curling Tour event. And I'll be back early next week. So Brendan is doing the next 3 games. He's great. I checked out. He did the game against Minnesota, game 2, I believe, and He's got a way better setup than ours. Like, he's got a great camera, great mic. He's a well-spoken guy. So, if we have viewers for that show, you're going to enjoy it. So, yeah, from myself and Braden, we hope to see you again here. We'll see you next week. But for now, take care and have a good night. Braden, you want to say bye to everybody, or there you go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now my cursor isn't showing, so I have to guess where to click my button here.